Relocated now to St. Francis's Folly, new temptations torment me. Rumor amongst
my fellow brothers is that entombed beneath our monastery is the body of Teokan, one of the 3 legendary rulers of the lost continent Atlantis, and that with him lies his piece of the Atlantean Scion, a pendant divided and shared between the 3 rulers, which curbs tremendous powers. Powers beyond the Creator himself. I chose sweat at such possibilities, lying so close to my mortal self. Each night, I beat myself rid of these fantasies, but it is indeed a test.
Pierre, you litterbug.
This level drives me crazy! This is my 9th attempt now at doing this. So I got it right the 8th time, but then when I watched the video back, I couldn't hear myself and I realised that my headphone jack was plugged into the wrong port. So, gonna try for the 9th time. But number 9 is my nan's lucky number, so maybe it will be my lucky number. So there's so many things that can go wrong in this level. Just about everyone has gone wrong to me. But first, jump onto this block here and take care of the 2 lions. They can't hurt you from up here, so just be patient. Wait for them to run in your line of sight. If you need, you can come to this block instead. There's the male one down. There's the female one down. So it's now quicker if you pull this block towards you first and then push it twice onto this pressure plate. But I'm doing it in this order for a reason I'll tell you in a second. So in this room there are 2 gorillas and you want to try and lure them out so you can face them separately or just in this larger area rather than in a small space. But do not stand on that pressure plate there because the door will close behind you and you'll then have to fight them in the small confined area. So they should run past the door or out. And you'll be able to attack from here. And they won't jump down either, so if they do come out this way, you can just jump backwards and they won't jump down. So there's the first one. And there's the second one. Now on the left here, another gorilla is going to appear when I pull this lever, so run off to the right to try and get some distance. Now, if you listened to the intro scene earlier, you would have heard that Lara spoke about a man named Pierre. Now, he's going to continue appearing for the next few levels, but you can't actually kill him until level 9, and this is level 5. Instead, you have to deal a certain amount of damage to him, so he'll then run away behind a pillar and disappear. You have to do that twice in this level, and this is the first time. So when you return to the main area, take out your guns and get ready to shoot Pierre. If you get up close to him, you do more damage, and if you stay behind him, he can't hit you. There you go, and as you can see, he ran behind the pillar and disappeared. Sometimes you'll hit him so much and he just won't move, and you'll have to run away from him instead, and just make sure that the camera makes it so he's behind a pillar and he'll disappear. If you didn't earlier, now push the block onto this pressure plate. If you did, don't worry about this step. As long as it's been on the pressure plate once, the door will open. To get that door to open, the pressure plate needs to have been pressed at least once, and the second lever in the gorilla room needs to have been pulled. The only reason I did it this way round is so you can actually see the camera zoom in on the door opening, whereas if you did it the way I said before, then the camera would have zoomed in when you put the block on the pressure plate, but the door wouldn't have opened and it wouldn't have been very clear what you needed to do. So now climb up onto here and do a static standing jump from the edge onto this pillar and grab up. You need to do these jumps exactly because this level is completely based of platforming, and if you get one jump wrong because of how high up you are, you're either going to die or take a lot of fall damage. So now do a running jump into this alcove here, and the first secret is just above your head. To get there, stand on the left hand side of this slope and jump onto the slope. Then you need to wait a fraction of a second before holding jump and action together, like this. You'll then grab onto the ledge and pull yourself up. If you jumped off the first slope too early or too late, then Lara will hit her head and you'll have to try again. Now face this slope, do a standing jump forwards, and just continue to hold jump and action together, and Lara will do the rest. Now do not fall through this crumbling floor, because you will fall to your death. It's not a safe shortcut down. Instead, you want to go back the way you came. Now return to the first pillar, doing these jumps once again exactly. Do a running jump onto this one, and then from the edge, either do a static jump or go backwards and do a running jump. If you do a static jump, you'll land on this edge here. If you do a running jump, you'll land on the other edge. Just be very careful, as that can cause you to take a lot of damage if you miss. Now do a static standing jump and grab. And if you look to the right, you'll see an area that you can get to, but there's no need because there's no items there. Instead, just pick up this large medipack, but still jump onto this ledge on the right, because if you jump to the one on the left, you might hit your head. Now make your way round. Now this is the longest section in almost any of the levels in Tomb Raider in which there are no save crystals for a long while if you're playing the original version. So just be careful. Now the second secret here is quite difficult to get, but you'll 100% get it every time if you follow this method. So jump onto the slope backwards, and then when you're on the slope, hold down the action button and do not let go. Now, pull up and let go of the action button, and then when Lara falls, hold jump, but only when she falls. Don't press jump any earlier, otherwise you'll end up jumping off the first slope and you won't make it. Just like this. Up, let go of action, fall, hold jump. There you go. And there is the second secret. Now you can collect both items with your small medipack and your shotgun shells. The shotgun may be here if you missed it in the Lost Valley. So you can go down there, it's completely safe, but when you land, don't pull the lever. Instead, just go straight into the water. But the reason why we're going this way instead is because you'll be swimming with the current and it makes it easier to avoid that alligator. If you swum the other way from the secret, then you'll be swimming against the current and it'll be harder to avoid the alligator. Now continue to swim this way with the current. Make your way up and pull the lever, then safely drop down and dispatch of the alligator. It's not very threatening when it's on the floor out of water. And there are all the threats before your first save crystal in the main level, or the main room of the level. There's a central pillar of which there are 4 switches, and each of the 4 switches corresponds to one of the 4 doors on the outside of this room. You need to go in all 4 of them, collect each key, and then use all 4 keys on the grand door at the end to escape this level. So first, use this save crystal, and do a running jump onto the middle tile of this here, because it's the only tile that activates those bats. Now fall down and pull this lever, and jump here to activate a few bats, but they'll activate above your head and get stuck on the ceiling. So instead jump over here so they can get to you, and one more bat will spawn when you land there. Now that you've got rid of those, you can return back to the central cylinder. If I got £1 for every time I said return to the centre today, because of how long it's taken me, 4 hours and 42 minutes, and 9 tries, I would be an absolute millionaire. Right, so now this is the hardest part of the level, so really pay attention. Make a running jump onto this pressure pad here. Now what this pressure pad does is it opens up a door that you can see on the bottom left of the screen just down there, but as soon as you come off the pressure pad, a timer of around 18 seconds will activate before the door closes. So a somewhat reliable way of doing this is this. Run against the wall and roll. Now walk forward 2 steps. If you're on the PC, I'd recommend saving now, but if not, it's only a small run from the save crystal that we just saved at on the PlayStation or Sega Saturn. Now make a static standing jump onto the tile ahead, and then you want to hold forward and left at the same time when you land, and it will cause Lara to rotate anti-clockwise. Then make her face the middle of this tile here where her hair is. Then you want to instantly roll and drop down safely, jump to the right, kill the 2 bats, roll off the edge, roll again to turn around, and then go to the door. So this is what it looks like. After you've rolled against the wall and walked forward twice, you do a static standing jump forward, rotate Lara, roll, grab, jump, pull out the guns, and shoot, roll off the edge, and quickly make your way through. Now the reason why I said to hold forward and left at the same time is the only way to get Lara to actually rotate her body. You can also do forward and right. After she's landed from a high height and she staggers on the floor, and you need to rotate her quickly to face the middle of that ledge, because if you're too far to the right, you'll hit your head and fall to your death, and if you're too far to the left, you'll completely miss the jump and fall to your death. So now pull this lever, and that's the grand door, which is the exit to the level. So we'll be coming back down here in a bit, but first use this save crystal so you don't have to do that again. We're now going to make our way back up the central pillar, activating the final 2 levers as we go, and then when we get right to the top of the level, we're going to go back down, doing each of the 4 trials as we go. First, jump into this alcove, get rid of the bat, and pick up the Uzi clips. Now jump back. Now you need to very, very carefully line up a running jump and grab here. Because can you see I'm diagonal here? If I tried that, I wouldn't grab on and I'd fall to my death. So really make sure that you're lined up perfectly by making sure the shadow is parallel to the edge. You can also sidestep to the corner if that helps. Now run, jump, and grab. There's a save crystal in the middle here, but we're not going to use that just yet. Instead, we're going to activate this pillar around the corner, or the lever, sorry. And we're then going to jump over here. Oh! We'll try that again. We now want to jump on top of this ledge with Damocles, the door, the archway, whatever you want to call it, and pick up the large medipack. Now we want to make our way onto the next level of the central cylinder. Do a standing jump and grab, There's another save crystal there as well, but we're not going to use that just yet. Instead, do a running jump to activate the 2 bats to your right. Once you've got rid of those 2, you can do a standing jump back to the central pillar. Now run this way, jump over here, make your way up to the next level. When you climb up here, the next 2 bats will wake up, so get rid of those. And jump across here. Now this block here has the 5th and final save crystal of the level, which we're actually going to use next, but not just yet. When you stand on here as well, a bat might spawn in replacement of one of the ones that spawned at the beginning of the level, not the first group, but the second group, the ones that got stuck on the ceiling, depending on which version you play of the game. So now pull the final lever, and do a running jump to get to this small medipack. Now, save at this save crystal. Continue to climb up. And then jump back on this tile here. Remember, the bat will spawn if you haven't jumped there already. Now make your way back to the central pillar and across to the Neptune trial. Now there's no items in this room, just a swimming pool. So come down here, follow the current, and then swim up. And then when you're close to the lever, just hold the action button and not anything else, and Lara will pull the lever herself. It's like that for items underwater as well. If you're struggling to line up, just let go of the swim button while you're near it, hold action, and Lara will do the rest. Now turn around and swim back up, because after pulling that lever, the current is now gone. And exit the way you came. Now do a running jump back to the central pillar. And drop back down here. And then drop down here. And go to the Atlas room. Now there's a gorilla to the left, so make sure you take him out quickly. Now make your way through here, and as soon as you see the boulder roll, roll yourself. I rolled a little bit early there, but I can hear it coming, so it's fine. And then roll off the edge and grab, and it will roll straight over your head, and you'll be safe. Now make your way back up to collect the second key. The first one was the Neptune key, this one is the Atlas key. Safely drop down. Now when you completed the Neptune room, a lion would have spawned next to the grand door. Now that we've completed the Atlas room, Pierre is going to spawn, so just be very careful when you're doing the next bit to make sure that you don't get shot by him. Now come back down here. And use the save crystal that we skipped earlier, here. Now make your way through to the Thor room. Be careful not to get electrocuted here. The best strategy is to stand just here, so you've got a standard decorative tile and what looks like the pressure pad we stood on earlier between you, and then do a rolling jump. The way you do this is by holding the walk button and then jumping forward. Even if lightning strikes on that tile then, as long as you do the rolling jump, you won't get hurt. Then stand on there long enough for it to fall. You have to time it right, so it doesn't matter if it takes a few tries. Then pull this block back one. Pull up, roll, run, and jump, and grab. And then do the same with this one, pulling it twice instead of once. Roll, run, jump, grab, pull up. Now once again, this is one where you have to do a running jump and ledge grab, and you need to make sure you align yourself perfectly, otherwise you will fall and you will die. Now you can pick up the Thor key. Now nothing spawns when you pick up this key. When you pick up the final one, one more lion will spawn. So we now want to make our way back through the electricity room the same way we got through. So stand with 2 tiles in front of you and do a rolling jump. There you go. Can you see I was struck by lightning but didn't take any damage? Now be extra careful when you're coming down here as to not get hit by Pierre. Ignore the save crystal for now and go to the Damocles level, because this one is relatively simple and you've got a very low risk of getting hurt. All of these swords from above will home towards you after you collect the Damocles key, but there's nothing to worry about, because as long as you hold down the walk button the whole time, you won't get hit. Now just to be extra cautious, I also recommend when you see the shadow move towards you, you stop moving altogether so that you don't end up walking into the path it's falling on. But I have once completely walked through the whole room and not been hit at all without stopping. As long as you're walking, you should be fine. They don't instantly kill you if they land on your head, but they do a fair bit of damage. And you want to save your health if you're not using any medipacks. For Pierre and the 2 lions. This is also why I saved this save crystal till after the trial. Just in case I do die to Pierre, so I can quickly reattempt. Now the final 2 swords that we have to worry about. There you go, and now you can run. So carefully make your way back and use this final save crystal. Now we're on the home stretch. If you come over to this ledge here, you've got a relatively good area to try and shoot them. You ideally want to get rid of Pierre first, because he's the one who can actually shoot you too. The lions are less of a worry. Just saw Pierre run under here. Hopefully he'll come round in a second. Get rid of this lion while I'm at it. I can hear I'm being shot at by Pierre. Maybe if I make my way back over here. Let's see if that was enough damage to kill him. Or not kill him, but make him disappear. Is he still down there? I think we're safe. So now we can drop down. Yep, Lara's not targeting onto anyone, so he must be gone. There is one female lion, and there is a second female lion. Now all that's left is to place the keys. So this second key is the Atlas key. This one here is the Thor key. Thor key. This one here is the Atlas key. Oh, sorry, the Atlas key. This one's the Damocles key. And this one is the Neptune key. I completely got those the wrong way round, but I clicked them right. There you go. And finally, 9th try lucky. We should leave this door and see 23 kills and 19 pickups. There you go. 25 minutes, 2 seconds, 4 secrets. I'm so glad that's over. It's now 9:59. It's nearly 10 o'clock at night. Almost exactly 5 hours after I started recording. So, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.